Mrs. Fodor? Here. Mrs. Jarborough? Here. Mr. Kelly?
Present.
Mr. Coe?
Here.
Ms. Palestrini? Here. Mr. Robinson?
Present.
Hey, everyone's here. Can everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance?
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Has anyone signed up to speak tonight? Awesome. Or not awesome. We have the meeting minutes from November 20th, 2025. Please review them at this time. I have a spelling error. I know, that's funny coming from me because I can't spell. Dr. Hussein, the last name spelled different.
Is it?
Yep, there's an O in there. HOSSI. So, no, there's an O.
I'll look it up online, maybe then.
That's a, I only did half the job. Sorry.
Under number 6, the procedural street, both ladies. I changed that when we sent me a text, yep.
Any other changes? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes with changes presented this evening. So moved. Second. Questions, comments? All in favor? Opposed? Okay. So we are trying something different. Now we are going to have, if you notice, the agenda looks a little bit different. We have, I don't know if you know this or not, but we have a new village manager. He wanted to make some changes, to which I fully supported. So now we have the accounts payable at the front of the meeting. And I will entertain any questions.
Why are the accounts payable at the front of the meeting?
Yeah.
That's my first question.
Why not?
Okay.
That doesn't really answer the question.
Yeah.
You know, we approve the bills and then we go, like, you guys, we didn't have separation between old business and new business either, right? So when you guys table something, it honestly becomes old business because it's not the first time you're hearing it for 3 or 4 times in a row. So to do all of our legislation together, I just moved the minutes or the payables up to the front because it's a warrant list. It's the bills that we pay. It's not a lot of decisiveness to warrant it to be at the end, I guess. So I put the easy stuff up front.
So if you look at the new flow of the agenda, it's the regular business that we have to complete to do, you know, in the course of the meeting. And then the meetings will be organized as such, new business and old business, not necessarily under village manager report or if we had like a finance director report or something like that.
So, I mean, there will be reports from your manager and stuff like that, but everything that you guys had underneath my report, I actually dispersed to department heads. So it seemed like it should flow under new business instead of my report because it's not really mine. So it's me.
Thank you.
A little bit different. It's gonna be hard for me. It's been the same way for as long as I've been a part of it. And his tie, yes, if you want to point out his tie, you can point out
I
his
was just
tie.
wondering who's sitting next to her.
Yeah.
Please state your
And I had
name.
the back.
Yeah, at least he's got socks, so that's good.
Yeah. Anything on the,
So anyway, for accounts payable, back to the meeting that we're all confused about why we're here because the order is different. Does anyone have any questions about the accounts payable?
Is this our final payment on the, no, okay. No,
Oh,
that's
no.
what I would-
Absolutely not. It's our
This will go on for a while.
fine.
Okay.
Even after we're occupying the building.
just,
They built a building, not a shed.
Right?
Building, yeah.
just thought I asked.
Does anyone have any questions on the accounts payable?
What's under, sorry, on
No.
page 10. Under that, the lamp, we have payment 7, which is the one we talked about.
Yes.
There's also one for payment 4 for 1,000.
When the check was written, it was actually $1,000 short, so we just included it in this one. When they did the reconciliation, they went back and found that the payment was short $1,000. So it's added into this disbursement.
Gotcha. 1,000 short of what we approved for that.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice try.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the regular accounts payable.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. General? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini? Aye. Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Hi.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, next we have a public hearing. Mr. Vaselli, do I need to entertain a motion to open the public hearing? Or
Please.
I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing for the purpose of the corporate tax levy, so 2025.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, welcome to the public hearing. We are here tonight to discuss the annual corporate tax levy. As you know, at the last meeting we had a riveting presentation from Ms. Lori Lyons with my favorite graphic ever. And I'm sure I think you're going to see it fine.
I see the pie.
Well, welcome everybody, to the public hearing. Paging down for some reason. So I just wanted to go over some repetitive stuff that we heard about last night, but some of the public that's here was not here to benefit from that information. So I will go over this again. The mechanics of the tax levy process. So first of all, the tax levy is our ask for document. We're asking the clerks of Kane and McHenry County to levy a tax on taxable properties within the village to fund our operations. The tentative levy was announced at the November 6th meeting, more than 20 days prior to its planned adoption tonight, which is required by state statute. The equalized assessed valuation, I'll remind you, represents 33.3% of the fair market value of the properties based on, and is the basis for calculating the taxes that are actually being assessed to properties. Some funds in the levy are limited by state statute, and those include corporate and police protection, and that's maximum by percentage. Following board approval, the tax levy must be filed with the county clerk in both Kane and McHenry County by the last Tuesday in December, and this year that date is 12/30/2025. The clerks will complete the tax extension in cooperation with one another, since we are split between the two counties, and that will happen in the spring. I'd like to show you this pie graph, which demonstrates the lime green color. I should have made the large one, not lime green, the state shared revenues, but the lime.
Honestly, on our iPads, it looks really good.
Okay, so from 12 o'clock to approximately 2 o'clock represents the property tax, the percentage that funds our general fund operations. And this is honestly one of the most consistent forms of revenue that we have. State shared revenues can change. I don't want to say on a whim, but basically on a whim. We have had actually LGF change 3 times since I've been with the village. So this is what it gets started. And here's our village president's favorite graphic. I did include the cents and a lot of arrows there, but essentially of $1 in property taxes, the village receives 6 cents. The final levy amount and the related tax rate or extension is determined by the Kane and McHenry County clerks, and it's based on the amounts that we have asked for in our levy. And after they apply the property tax extension limit law reductions. That's also known as PTEL or the tax cap law. PTEL limits an amount to increase either by the CPI index or 5%, whichever is less. This year, we're looking at a CPI, actually a look back at last year's CPI of 2.9%. We have a multiplier of 1, and our EAV is over $43.5 million. The prior year extension was $1,550,222, which is in, that represents the amount in both counties. And our new construction this year is over $25.5 million. Using just the two-factor calculation and the maximum of 2.9%, the village would receive $44,956 additional dollars as compared to last year's extension. Expected additional revenue from new construction is approximately $106,000. The levy request represents 15% over last year's extension. We're asking for $1,782,900. And then I believe that we will be limited to $1,702,000. So the 2025 levy request, I have an arrow demonstrating where we're at here. We did adjust things a little bit up and down if you look in the percentage change column at the far right. However, the increase is shown at 15%. So this year I used a $400,000 number for the fair value of a home. So I believe last year's tax rate was 0.416740, and I estimate the tax rate this year to be at 4.40921. So if everything were to stay the same, we know it won't because our assessments went up. We have new property construction in. But I do expect the tax rate to go down. If everything were to stay the same on this $400,000 home, the tax would actually go down. And my final graphic is just the 6 cents that the village receives out of that $1. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a comment. There was a lot of misunderstandings and assumptions that were on social media when it was posted about the tax levy. And one, thank you very much for your presentation, because I think it shows what actually it means and the impact. I also don't want anybody to think that their home value is going to remain exactly the same from year to year. Right. So if you have a $400,000 home, I highly doubt it got assessed at $400,000 again. I did go back because everyone's sitting on this board pays into those same taxes that people online were upset about. So we're not exempt from anything. And I went back and looked at mine, and I went all the way back to tax year 21. And every year we've had this meeting and this public hearing because every year we're asking for more than what the limit is because we are in a high growth area, meaning we've had a lot of new construction. And I can tell you for myself, speaking for myself, from tax year 21 till now, and based on your assumption for next year, my tax rate has gone down every single year. Now, I pay more every year, but that's because the value of the house goes up, which I think all of ours in the community does. But when you look at what the tax rate is, my tax rate, and I would assume everybody's is the same, for the village and the overall tax rate has actually gone down every year. And what drives that down, I did a little bit of research, new construction can help drive down tax rates because it's spread out more across more homes, and just, let's just say properties, because it's commercial, it's residential, it's vacant land. So while sometimes we also hear people get upset that we've got a lot of new development happening, it also helps to lower your tax burden because it gets spread out more. So I hope people take time to go back and look at their tax bills, those that especially were upset, and look at what the tax rates were over time, and also look at what your assessed value was of your home, and know that your home price was going up, but the percentage of your tax that the village and overall has been collecting on your property tax is less. Now, that doesn't mean it makes it any more affordable in our state or in our community, because property taxes are pretty high. But this is not an increase of your tax rate. This is not an increase on the individual's burden. In fact, if your house stayed the same, you just showed, Ms. Lyons, that your taxes actually go down this year. What happens if we don't do this is we don't get the money, and then we can't provide things like police and roads and other things. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, but there was a lot of comments on there about, I think it was just a misunderstanding. And I hope people are able to watch this, look at your presentation, really learn from it, and walk away understanding just a little bit more than they did maybe the day before about how tax levies and property tax works. So thank you again for your hard work on that.
I appreciate your comments. I watch Facebook as well, and 15% sounds like a giant increase, but your taxes will not go up by 15%. I can almost guarantee that, unless your assessment, like you did some.
We don't do the assessments. Let's just say we do not
Yes,
assess
we
your
do not
property value.
Yeah, we do not do the assessment.
But you're right, and that's the perception, right? You see a big percentage, like
Yes.
a 15%, especially in today's economy, and you're like, whoa, what the heck are you guys doing?
Yeah, you're raising my taxes 15%.
Right,
Basically.
and so I understand where that's coming from. I'm just hoping people take the time to watch this and learn a little bit more about it so they understand a little bit more. But I understood where they were coming from. It's just the perception is not necessarily the reality of this case.
And it takes a lot to understand municipal finance in general, or how the tax structure works. And I think that, coming into this, I had no idea, right? And I'm still learning something new every single day. So then, when you try to explain it, and social media is not the best avenue to explain some of this stuff, because you get accused of placating or leading or, what was the other one, which is, it doesn't matter. But anyway, you get accused of not telling the whole story. And it's not a matter of us not trying to tell the whole story. It's like, how do you explain such a complex subject in a way that is not going to get taken out of context? Because if you put it too long, they're only going to pick and choose. So I appreciate your work on this, and I appreciate your coaching as well, because I leaned on Finance Director Lyons a lot during some of those comments, because I didn't want to talk out of turn, because I didn't want an angry people because I misquoted or I said the wrong thing. And she was really frustrated with me, and I was like, I understand what you're saying. I understand. I said, but how do I explain this to somebody that doesn't understand it? How can I make this make sense? And so she gets it. She's in it day to day. And so I appreciate you putting up with me as well through this. And because I know you get the angry phone calls as well. So, but thank you.
I think you said it, if this does not pass, then we don't have the finances to pay the bills.
Right.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I want to say Dalton did not pass it one year, and the town was unfunded for a year.
You were around back then?
I was not at the village. No, I had left graciously the village of Dalton at the point in time. There is a story from the city of Aurora, and the city of Aurora did not pass its levy, and maybe the finance director knows the story as well. So it's kind of, in my circles, it's kind of a terror tale, but there was steps taken that the levy didn't go through, and it was a real issue. It becomes a problem. Dalton did not do, or after I left, they did not pass their levy.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but essentially this is how the lights stay on, how that lovely fan with its beautiful hum stays on, and that's how we are operating as a corporation through our real estate tax levy, primarily. So it's an excellent presentation. I love the pennies, but Dalton, that was after I had, let's say, left Dalton.
Mm-hmm. No, and I only bring that up because that was a more recent story that people will probably remember. It was widely covered on the news that they did not pass their levy, and the village could not pay their bills for a year.
And you can't go back.
No, you
and say,
cannot
"We're sorry."
Correct.
You have
It's
to
done
cut, in
until
this
the
case,
next year.
1.7 million out of your budget for the
Yeah.
next year.
Which is a lot of services that we rely on.
Ms. Lyons, if you could explain one more time, with new construction, because we have it all around us. New construction, does that count if they've got a permit out, if the house is already built? So what that means, and then re-explain, if we don't add that new construction, the detriment of not doing it.
So, essentially, if we go back to the slide where I show that I believe that this is going to yield about $106,000 extra. If we were not to include the new construction in our estimates, in requesting our levy amount, this is $106,000 that we would never be able to get. I mean, we would get the taxes from the properties, but we would never start at the same base. You want to start as long as you can to build for subsequent years. So yes, we would eventually get the taxes, but we would never be able to capture the $106,000 that's going to, continue to grow. So,
Okay,
yep.
thank you.
Okay. Any questions for staff? Any discussion amongst the board? I appreciate the conversation. I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing and go back into open session.
So moved.
Second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, welcome to open session. Next, under new business, we have the ordinance approving the annual corporate tax levy for 2025 in the amount of $1,782,900. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve said ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini.
Aye.
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor.
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro.
Aye.
Motion passes 6.
Next. You gotta help me through this, Miss. Yeah.
You want me to read it?
Well, I guess I can. I guess
I
this
can read it.
is a resolution approving the 2025 administrative report for SSA 13.
I'll do it.
No, it's okay. I got it. I mean, we'll figure this out. And 14. Well, and we have two reports. They're in your packet. This is something that we do every year. So we have 13 and 14. Does anyone have any questions on the administrative report for either SSA? Questions can be directed toward Ms. Lyons, I believe.
Yes, so I'll just give a couple of brief comments. So you are approving the administrative report as well as the special tax roll for each of these SSAs. If you are able to look at my agenda supplement, you can see that the refunding of the bonds in both instances are saving the residents some money, so we're not taxing at the maximum parcel tax for the calendar year 2025 collected in 2026. The extensions will actually, or the extended special taxes will actually be less than the maximum. So our residents are receiving a benefit due to that refunding.
Any questions for Ms. Lyons?
Just one of the lines in the report, it shows a levy year through 2035. Is that when these end?
Yes, that's correct.
So at that point, the residents of those areas will no longer pay these taxes now.
And interestingly enough, last year, last fiscal year, a resident in Lakewood paid off their special service area assessment in advance. So if they were to sell their home, they would not have this encumbrance on their property going to 2035. It's actually like a loan, bond prepayment, essentially.
Wow. I didn't know you could do that. All right, so we have two reports. We would have to take two separate votes on them, but does anyone have any question about 13 or 14? D and E are also kind of coupled to this too, because this is actually abating the taxes to go along with it. But we're gonna have to do 4 different motions and 4 different votes for SSA 13 and 14. Does anyone have any questions on the process or the votes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a resolution approving the 2025 administrative report for SSA 13.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
And Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
I'll entertain a resolution approving the 25 report for SSA 14.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next, we have an ordinance abating the taxes that we just spoke about for SSA 13.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Motion
And-
passes 6-0.
And finally, an ordinance abating the special taxes levied for SSA 14.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll,
Ms.
please?
Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, Ms. Lyons, can you tell us about the Series 15 or 2026?
Yes, so
16 bond?
F and G are kind of bracketed together, as we say also. We are abating the taxes on the village's general obligation bonds that have alternate revenue sources. We have accumulated sufficient funds for both of those bonds to make the debt service payments, and therefore we are abating the taxes accordingly.
And for the new people in the room, what were these originally for?
The 2016, previously designated as 2015, it was a refunding bond of the bonds that were issued for the TIF and also to resurface Dietrich Road at that time.
Okay, and what about the next?
The next one is our brand new bond for the Public Works facility.
Does anyone have any questions?
What's the alternative source for the brand new one that we just signed?
That is, so it starts at our non-home rule sales tax, falls to sales tax, falls to income tax. It named several different sources. Essentially, because we just enacted the non-home rule sales tax, we didn't have sales tax history, I'll call it, to look back in prior audits. So you have to have 125% coverage for each year of bond payments. So that's why the principal source will be the non-home rule sales tax, but we had to fall back to other sources solely because we didn't have the history of collections.
And so will this has to happen every year? Because I
Yes.
thought we went into that bond with sales tax as the funding mechanism.
Absolutely, yes. Every year you must abate. So if you don't abate, the county clerk will actually extend based on the bond ordinance that was filed. So we abate every year. And it's important for us to abate because if we weren't to do that, it would tell the bondholders that we don't have sufficient funds on hand to make the payments, and that would affect our bond rating and our ability to issue these types of bonds in the future.
Okay, again, we will need to have two roll calls on this for F and G. So I will entertain a motion abating taxes levied for the 2016 previous designated 2015 bonds.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
You said 2015.
2015, previously, 2016 previously designated as 2015.
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
And Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
This is also, the next one is, I'll entertain a motion to approve an ordinance abating taxes levied for the general obligation bond series 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Is that your number that you?
No, it was published through the.
It's hard to tell you too much. So I apologize. Okay, Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Mr. Cove,
Okay.
Mrs. Palestrini,
Aye.
Mr. Robinson. Aye. Ms. Fodor,
Aye.
and Mr. Jernerbro.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next for trustees, Kelly's favorite presentation of the year. You guys ready? Do you guys bring popcorn? Miss Lyons, you're up.
All right. While I'm trying to share my screen here, I wanted to just note the reason why those bonds were designated previously as 2015 and then became a 2016 series was at the time of the bond refunding, the interest rates were good, then they were bad, and so we held off, and then we brought it back. So they redesignated as a 2016. So we used the original refunding or authorization to refund bonds. So that's why it has a switch over. Okay, I'm now going to move into my special service area presentation. And overall, I just want to note that bringing many of the services in-house have tremendously affected the performance of the SSAs. And so I have what I would consider pretty good news for everybody. So tonight's presentation just includes the eight stormwater SSAs that we levy for. So we have, what do we determine, 36, something like that. We have a lot of SSAs, but we're only going to look at 8 because either a homeowners association is caring for the SSA, a property owner is caring for the SSA, and these are ones that the village is responsible. So what I tried to do here, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along in your stuff because this is kind of small, which we always have trouble with. Okay, what I tried to do was show the current year, fiscal year 26, 3 years prior and 3 years forward. So 2026 is obviously not done, so we have some estimated expenses for payroll and other either allocated expenses or specific things that we know that we're going to do that are estimated both for 26 through 29. So SSA number 2, I propose a decrease of 44%. We have fund balance, I expect it to be around $5,000, which I don't really want to go down to 0 because that would indicate that we're not going to tax in the future. So I just want to keep it low for several years, kind of spend down on that fund balance and, monitor the expenses that are going on. Are there any questions for SSA number 2? This shows like the 44% reduction. Again, I used a $300,000 fair market value for all of the illustrations in this presentation. So the tax would be 44% less.
So it goes, at the bottom, then the annual cost of 300,000. So for fiscal year 26, it's $9.91.
Yes.
For a homeowner, and then for the following year, it's expected to go down to $5.50.
Correct.
So a significant reduction of this tax for those that are in the old man bill.
Correct.
Which, so
Just wanted to say
that's,
that.
I'm reading it fiscal year 27 that goes down 44%.
Yes, so we are levying a tax in 25 for collection in 26.
Which will start in,
And that is fiscal year 27,
and that will start next May.
next May.
So we are currently in fiscal year 26.
We are correct.
Okay.
Yes, because our fiscal year, the fiscal year is related to the end of your year. So the end of our fiscal year is currently April 30th, 2026.
I am following you now.
Okay.
Okay.
It does get confusing. Okay, if there are no questions, I'm gonna go on to the next one. Our next, SSA is Panama. And, this one again, this is, very small, not detention, retention area. No, retention.
It's a retention.
I think it's detention.
It holds water.
It's retention.
It does not hold water. Panama does not hold water.
Yes.
Okay, all right, whichever one. Sorry.
Just a minute, we gotta talk through it.
It's not gonna hold any
Fiscal
water
year
now.
26, 27, okay, this one does not hold water. We solely do some mowing in this area. It's a very small, area, so, whoops, I actually just turned the page. I propose a small reduction of $50, down from $300 to $250. And, again, a small assessment, we have a decent fund balance and, 17% reduction. Any questions on that one?
Just a note, I think on the bottom of the spreadsheet for SSC number 3, the impact to the homeowner calculation is incorrect, so it shows no difference, but it's a 17% reduction.
Oh, shoot.
It says 1633 and then 1633.
I will look into that. Obviously, that's incorrect. Yep.
So this one will go down for anybody that lives there, 17%.
Can I ask, so I'm looking at the ending fund balance,
Yes.
and I'm also looking at pretty much the estimated expenses for the year. Why do we need to have, I mean, yes, it's minimal, but why do we need to have such a large ending fund balance when the expenses seem to be a lot less than,
So.
you understand what I'm trying to?
I do.
Okay.
I really don't want to go to zero because again,
I don't know,
Yeah.
zero, but why do we need a $3,400 balance when the expenses are in the hundreds?
we can reduce it more if that's your preference.
I don't know what's fiscally responsible for this. I understand you don't want to go to zero, but
Right.
if it only costs,
So-
let's say $250 to maintain this SSA every year, and we pretty much know that's gonna be the cost for years to come, why do we need a 34?
So the only thing I can say is if you look back at the third year prior, you do see that the expenses like, the shared expenses were $163.40.
Yes,
Sometimes if you have a large expense, I mean, that's not large, $163, compared to other
well,
expenses.
compared to $40, $37.
Right.
It's larger.
So, I mean, it is a good idea to, to have some fund balance in there. I mean, I would be comfortable reducing it more, but again, I don't think that we should drop it to zero simply because, I mean, there's nothing stopping the SSAs are not under PTEL, so there's no restriction with respect to going from zero to, the maximum tax, which we would never tax at the maximum tax because some of those are crazy amounts, as you know. But you could go from zero to something without any problem, just obviously putting it on the agenda and discussing it. So we always hold a public hearing if the tax request is over 5%, just so that, it's an extra alert to the residents of that. But we could go from zero to 300 or to 3,000 probably at any point. I would just hate to do that
No, I would hate to do that too, but if we don't anticipate anything coming up in the future, I don't see the need for such a large.
So large things would include like, a machine or
Right,
equipment that is purchased for the SSAs and shared amongst all of them.
okay.
So those would be large expenses that would be allocated.
Good question, kind of going on what Trustee Robinson was asking, and let me generalize my question across to all SSAs and fund balances. There are, as you know, you live it. Suggested percentage fund balances for our general fund and for others from the state of Illinois. They're like, you should be about 30%, 40%, whatever it is. And then you're considered fiscally healthy. In these SSAs, what do you consider, or what should we consider as a healthy fund balance as a factor of the overall cost to maintain that SSA?
Like you said, there is no guidance really given to, a finance director with respect to that. I would hate to see it, go below, I would like to have at least a year in reserve.
Okay.
Solely because if we fail to levy for a tax and then we had expenses, we'd have to, double zap the next year.
And that's fair. The reason why I'm asking, like in this SSA in particular, but it's a good, like having an idea of your fund balance should be cover X amount of years or X amount of service, at least allows us to see, is this healthy and should it be down or up? Otherwise, we're kind of guessing at like, okay, well, maybe it should be up, maybe it shouldn't be. But like for this one, to what Trustee Robinson's saying, this is now at 10x what the annual cost is. So if you did go to zero, theoretically, even at the 3-year prior higher rate,
We have 10 years.
you have actually 11 years of coverage. Because I was off by a little bit, but we can say 10 for easy math. We have 10 years of coverage where we would never be worried until all of a sudden we'd have to say, oh my gosh, we have to raise this. Not every SSA is like that. I get this. But in this case, I do wonder if we hit whatever that theoretical, this feels right to hold fund balance amount is, do we then look at the levy and say the estimated total cost is $100? I'm just doing this for easy math. So we're just going to levy $100, and then the funding balance becomes our reserve fund in case something were to happen. But we're only ever going to levy what we think the cost that year is to maintain, because this levy is going to grow the balance even more. And so while it's a 17% reduction, and this is a small one, I totally get it. I'm just talking on the basis of theory across all the SSAs, which we all know how I feel. If the cost in this case is $193, estimated cost, and we have a fund balance that is 10 years out of maintaining that, wouldn't it be okay just to levy what that cost is to maintain, or so that we don't have to go back later and have people come be upset that we're raising their taxes again, right? But just, that's why I'm saying whatever Ms. Seehausen, whatever you all feel is like, this is a healthy fund balance for an SSA, that if we are above that, we kind of have too much money in that fund balance. I feel like that needs to be decided so that we can figure out, no, actually, we shouldn't levy anything above and beyond what the cost is, or we should bring down the fund balance a little to bring it into line because it is a little bloated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So, kind of ironically, maybe I rounded, because you see the 193 up the top. There's also another like $35 down at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So if you add those all together, we're real close to my 250.
Right.
So I just kind of rounded.
And I still go back to I think we still need to define what is that healthy? Like, is it a 3-year reserve fund so that if, God forbid, we don't pass a tax levy, we can still afford to maintain SSAs and people don't get flooded out, right? Mm-hmm. Or we don't end up, what did we have to do, like $20,000 because SSAs didn't get maintained for a long time?
It was a mess.
So that's all I'm raising. It's like trying to elevate it to say there should be some standard we should have as a village to say, this is healthy, this is too much, this is not enough.
I only bring it up because it seems like, insert your level of government here, we're always taxing. Here's an opportunity to lower that and not tax and give it back and lower that. So those opportunities are few and far between, but this looks like it may be one of them.
Yeah.
I agree too, and I think just taking a look at the SSA itself, we've got some that have ponds and streams and, all kinds of stuff that needs to be cut and burned. And this is just grass that gets mowed and fertilized, but there's nothing else that's going to be big there. So this would be a good one to reduce if we could. I'd be a little bit more concerned with those that we have to bring in experts to do things that our own public works and people can do right now. But if we have to pay more, and I agree with the two gentlemen trustees here.
So, this is just my recommendation at this point. So if you'd like to make a recommendation back, we will present the levy accordingly at the next meeting.
That's where I don't know what to recommend. That's what I think we lean on you
Yeah.
to.
Right.
My
My ask, and I wouldn't say recommendation, my ask would be for there to be some type of definition of what a healthy fund balance amount is.
Okay.
And that whatever the levy requires to maintain that healthy or to grow to, because some may come back that you're not at that level and we need to reevaluate it. But whatever that level is, at least then I'm going to speak for myself. I would feel comfortable about why we're asking for what levy we're asking for.
So I'll come back in 2 weeks with additional information.
Right. And granted, this is only gonna get better. $100, but there's a couple $100 we could save with each other.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to move on with the presentation or let it rework it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was.
Okay. The next one is, special service area number 6. Again, we're in a very healthy, fund balance situation. So my recommendation is to reduce this, by 50% to $3,000. Comments on this one? I would look back at some of the common expenses in the prior years. This year is looking pretty low comparatively. So, but
Your point too, I think a lot of these expenses are because we have excellent people who've got certified and we can do stuff inside.
yes,
Then I think we probably need to keep in mind what would happen if we would lose one of those people and how much it would cost us to train them and or replace them or have to hire for that year. So
It does not come in for the reserve balance that we think is healthy for us to have on hand for those type of things. Right. And so I think, putting that list of things that could happen together with cost today and projecting a little bit will help us define all of these for a better fund balance that you all can feel comfortable with.
How does number 7 look, Ms. Lyons?
number 7. SSA number 7, Hampshire Hills, a little bit of a different story. So, you'll recall that this has a giant pond area that was, basically completely uncontrolled.
It was a forest.
It was literally a forest. So in fiscal year 23, I've highlighted the burning that we did, and I believe that also included some machine clearing because
Yes,
of.
I remember the phone calls. They were very upset because they thought that they bought a house next to woods.
Right. When it was actually supposed to be a functioning stormwater facility. So, we do expect, I also have pink in fiscal year 28. We believe that we will be, doing some significant work on that big, area again. We actually, if you look back at prior presentations, had hoped to burn around the smaller facility that's at the north side of the subdivision. And because of permitting situations, that's not going to get done before April 30th. So I moved that $5,750 expense to fiscal year 27.
Are we anticipating a large sum expense in fiscal year 30-ish with that high balance? Because it looks like the fund balance is going up $30,000 from 25.
We'll evaluate this every single year.
Okay.
But we do expect, at least in 28, to have pretty significant expense because of that large area.
So then that ending fund balance in 29 probably won't be that 26,000.
Correct.
Okay.
It will not be 29, yeah, will not be.
It will be significantly lower.
And that's because we anticipate a significant cost in.
We don't, yeah, so, we actually have quotes for the burning that was supposed to be done in the spring of 26 that'll actually happen later in the spring of 26.
Mhm.
But I do not have a quote for, the 28 expense that is associated with the big
Okay.
area.
But that pink box
The
is.
pink box relates to the pink box before.
Right,
And
okay. so
it'll be bigger.
Probably a
Yeah.
significant number.
I don't know that it'll be 14,000 because, of the machine clearing that was done before, but there will be a significant burn. It is a large area.
Okay.
Like the, oh, go ahead.
Trustee Coe, is there other things we can do in detention areas to avoid having to go back every couple of years to burn? Is there other, like, can we dig out things and do?
Just chemical. If you dig it out, then you're gonna remove the vegetation. Any rainwater you get is just gonna, take the removed vegetation ground and silt it into the pond.
So there's really no other options.
This was one of those SSAs when you look back 4 or 5 years ago that was poorly maintained, and we knew this was gonna be a hard choice to put all this money in, but I think we can see that we're getting to it. 4 years ago, and like, oh man, 5 years is a long time from now, but I think we're finally seeing it get there now.
Mhm.
So,
Well, it's not a negative fund balance.
well, nor is it a 58% increase or a 37% increase. Now it's starting to level itself off, which was the plan years ago when we did this. I know there's a couple other ones in here too, but this was one of them. And I'd not like to see an 8% increase every year, but it does cost money to maintain these, so. At least it's not a 58% increase, so. Good work to the staff and to village employees for getting these things under control.
Yeah.
And I know it took some time and it was painful for some residents, but I think we're in a lot better place now than we were 5 years ago.
Any questions?
SSA number 8.
All right, SSA number 8. Again, a healthy fund balance. And so I'm suggesting a 40% reduction to a levy of $1,500. It's a reduction of $1,000.
What about number 10?
This is probably the best news of the evening. I'm recommending a reduction of 47%. Again,
You can tell where these two live.
Village staff has done a phenomenal job, with respect to, not only doing, spraying of chemicals, but they've done some machine clearing in there. And, we'll have, the 5750 is going to be done this spring, but in fiscal year 27 again. And then we are planning in the brown section of the bigger area, down in maybe the fall or early spring of, that would be calendar year 28.
This was the other area, and full transparency in case nobody knows, Trustee Coe and I do live in this one, and we've been adamantly outspoken about the cost of this one, and yeah, but
Sorry.
again, kudos to staff. It's a 40, it's almost, we're almost cutting that price tag in half. So,
Just a note on this one too. that,
Oh, yeah.
the fund balance discussion we're talking about. If you look at FY '29, it's great that it goes down 47% next year, 50% the year after, and nothing the year after that. But then your fund balance becomes less than what just the burns are, and you're gonna end up having to raise it significantly higher if that has to continue in the subsequent years, so.
I think we're trying to get on, a schedule where it will be, like, not happening in the same year. So we're gonna try to, maybe extend one so that it can go.
Oh, so it'll be like 10 one year, 20 the next 10 one year. 20.
Well, so we won't have the 6325 and the 6,000, maybe in fiscal year 29, we might be able to either move one, back to fiscal year 30. So, yeah. That'll help, like when you have two areas like that, there's actually 4 different facilities within that SSA. 3 of them go together, 1, 3, and 4, and then the big one goes separately. If we can get those off years, then it'll mediate the tax as well. So
What's happening in this one is when they cut down 8,000 little scrub trees and they cut down all the noxious weeds and they spray fertilizer and kill them. Then they come back in the spring and they plant a mix that's supposed to grow like wildflower mix that's supposed to choke out the noxious weeds and take over. So eventually that will grab and then they won't have to do as much work.
okay, well, moving on to SSA number 11, Hampshire Highlands. This one, I'm just recommending a small decrease this year. We will be burning their large pond in fiscal year 27. So just a small increase this year. Just kind of a rounding number. We had a very strange number last year.
Is that the same situation with late spring of 26, which is?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Thank you.
Number 12?
Sorry, can I ask a question on this one? We don't have any record in the previous years of burning, and then we have 2 years of burning in the next 3.
So I think if you look up in fiscal year 23 and 24, I was unable to break out the difference between spraying and burning, but in the common expense area where it says just pond maintenance though, that's what that is.
So that was burning.
It's a combination of burning and spraying.
Okay.
And we did change companies from 23 and 24, so we experienced some cost savings, although, yeah, you can't necessarily tell, but the combination of them is less. Any questions? And the last one is special service area number 12, Hampshire Meadows. And this one, I'm showing an increase of 6%. I don't know that after our discussion this evening that you're going to like that number. So, like I have it going up this year and then down next year. Yeah, so maybe we don't need to do like the 6% increase. We can keep it the same. I can rework this one a little bit to see if you want me to tweak that a little bit to.
Sorry, going on what you said at the beginning of the meeting though, FY '26 we would have already voted.
I'm sorry. Yes.
So next year we get a
Yes.
43% decrease.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're
Okay.
exactly right.
I was like,
See?
They're blended.
Yeah.
We don't know what you're doing.
It is gonna be nice.
But when you look at this one though, the ending balance is continuing to go down, 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 down. At some point, it's going to have to go up from 30.
Well, and we'll look at it again next year to see, how the actual results are, because there are some estimates in here
Okay.
with respect to, payroll and, the common expenses that will be occurred before the end of the fiscal year.
So now you got your homework.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Olson, I think we finally get to talk about what you came here to talk about.
Sure. There's not was a discussion item.
So, we have before us the amended final plat for neighborhood W and neighborhood X. Mr. Olson is here for any other questions, or if you would like to lead us into this discussion, you are more than welcome.
Sure, I can. Yeah, so you may recall earlier this year, we did receive, the board approved a plat of subdivision for both of these neighborhoods. Subsequently, we had submitted our plans both to the village and King County at the same time for our access permit. And it takes a little longer at King County, and we got approved here. And we found out, we got comments back in King County, and they brought to our attention a government agreement between the village and King County from 2006 that requires us to dedicate 75% or 75 feet from center line versus what we were dedicating in the plats. So this is rectifying that. We don't have any problem with it. It's within, just takes up some of the open space along our frontage up there, but that's why we're back here today.
This is because of an agreement that we had in place from 2006.
It is. It was an intergovernmental agreement between the village and King County. And it's the same agreement that actually secured this access at this location in addition to other locations along Big Timber Road, including Oakson.
Can you explain what you mean by center line? So is it like, I'm looking at the drawing that has a Big Timber Road. So is the center line the middle of the road to the start of the development?
Yeah, center line, middle of the road to the right of way on the south side of the road. You know, we don't control the north side, obviously, so the south side of our property, 75 feet.
That has to be 75 feet. So if the road's not 75 feet, it's just beyond
It's the
that.
right of way. And it's anticipation of widening the road at some point in the future. I don't foresee that any time in the near future, but it will come.
And that was the only change to this.
Correct. Both plats. And then there's two plats, obviously, so you got to revise both plats.
Trying to look for my street name list. Yeah, didn't have it with me. So I figured you were up here to ask about that. I did. He's all about it. It's not on the agenda,
Okay.
but like
Can you about it? Because after I said that, I'm like, oh, we should probably talk to our marketing people about it.
No, and so we had that discussion. So I know it's not on the agenda, but if you'll indulge us for a moment.
Sure, absolutely.
Like we had that part of the discussion about the fact that sometimes the developments now have street names that aren't people's kids, right? And they tie back to like the marketability of the, you guys go before that. But the comment was made, and I guess I'm gonna put you on the spot if it's okay. The comment was made that would developers have a problem with us kind of telling them what street names they have to pick from, and the whole marketing side of it? Would that cause them not to build in a community?
Yeah, I certainly can't speak for all developers, right? You know, I can only speak from my own personal experience, and again, as I mentioned, you know, before the meeting, you know, that was when I first got hired by Crown. That was my job, the director of engineering, and I've always felt engineers should be choosing street names, right? Because you know, the high area will be the highlands, and the low area will be trees and oaks, whatever it is. But yeah, we take it very seriously, right? You know, and I think I can't commit that we would be 100% on board with it. You know, I have to talk to our folks, but I know that we would certainly be very cooperative and collaborative with it because, you know, it's your village, right? You know, and we love honoring the history of the communities that we're in. So we'd love to have further discussions with that, but I definitely would have to bring, you know, our marketing folks in on that. So.
Well, would that prevent Crown from building in Hampshire or any
No.
municipality, here's your street names you have to choose from?
No.
Okay. We wanted to hear from
you know, again, I'm speaking for Crown. No. Okay. That's probably very, very, very low on the list.
We thought so.
Yeah. So well, thanks for being our expert witness tonight. All right. Do you guys have any questions about X and W? Again, this will be two different votes. So we'll need to do two motions on approving the plats of subdivision. So I'll entertain a resolution approving the final plat for W.
So moved.
But I did, okay, go ahead. You got it.
Questions, comments? Roll call vote, please, Ms. Clerk.
Mr. Hope,
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini,
Aye.
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor,
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro.
Aye.
Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Motion is 6-0.
I'll entertain a motion approving a resolution for the amended plat for neighborhood X.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll,
Ms.
please?
Palastrellini,
Aye.
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor,
Aye.
Ms. Jernerbro.
Aye.
Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Cole.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for waiting to.
And happy holidays for you and your family.
Appreciate the conversations about SSA's.
Glad you do.
I've had a little experience with it. Thank you.
All right, next, we're gonna go into the old business. And so this will be before you for the third time for, fence regulations. We do have a member of our Planning and Zoning Commission here this evening, and Miss Emily Duhigh came to visit with us tonight. If we had any questions, because there were some questions about retaining walls last time and heights. And so she volunteered her evening, braving the cold, to come see us to talk about, retention walls.
Emily was my great grandmother. I'm Grace.
Oh, my God.
It's really impressive that
You know what? Grace.
Thank you so much for
Grace.
calling.
Grace, so we were just talking about the historical street names, and we we're talking about the 150th, and she wrote the whole thing, and I
Mike,
apologize.
motion to table a shovel.
I apologize. There's worse people to be confused with, I promise.
I kept
So
looking
great.
around. Finance Director Lyons, wait, what?
That's why she kept looking at me. I apologize. So, but she's here to talk about retaining walls.
Yay.
So if you would, could you walk us through some of the questions that we had? I don't,
Yeah, use the podium.
Okay, I'm not used to this side.
Oh.
I think there was a photo included in the packet that hopefully would help illustrate the point.
Page 3 of the agenda supplement.
Yeah, I know we were talking about,
On item 9A. Are we on item 9A? Okay.
Yeah, 9.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think it's page 266 of 292.
Yep.
Or page 3 of your agenda supplement.
There we go.
Okay. So this was in relation in the text portion, which is, I think, a different supplement, but we were talking about how fences are measured. And there was a question about the retaining wall portion. For that photograph, they're just trying to be conscious of, if you have a property where you have significant grade change and have a retaining wall, just what's the impact to your neighbors, when it comes to that fence height in relation, to bottom of retaining wall. There was another provision in there about 42 inches. That was more, it's understandable that you want to put a fence to keep people from falling off the retaining wall. 42 inches is kind of that guard height in the building code. It's kind of a weird gray area, between zoning and building code.
Okay.
That was the intent of that part of the provision.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming tonight. I don't know what I'm doing.
So this is properly done according to the photo that's here. This is properly done.
Well, this, it's an example. I'm pretty sure I borrowed this from a retaining wall manufacturer's website.
Okay. Okay.
But as just a sample of, if this were, I don't know if this is a 6-foot fence in a residential area. I know that's what we're considering now. But in this case, it would be, if this were 42-inch fence, it would be in compliance. If it would be over a 42-inch fence, assuming this wall is, looks like a 10-foot wall to me, it would not be in compliance.
Okay.
We want at least 48. You gotta get 48. A dog can jump 42.
What's in the ordinance, the proposal?
That retaining wall's holding in their yard.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of on the owner.
Well, I mean, the dog goes after, you should be able to allow them to go 48. I mean, you buy the building materials at all the stores, it's 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet.
Yeah.
It's not 42, so you're gonna buy 48, cut 6 inches off. That don't make any sense.
Were we limiting it to 42? Or
I
we were
thought-
saying it had to be a minimum?
I thought the minimum was 42.
This says may may extend above the top of the retaining wall no more than 42 inches. And you're saying 42 is kind of the minimum standard for having somebody,
For pedestrian,
right,
yeah.
to not fall over. Yeah.
That's if it's 5 feet or closer to the retaining wall,
Well, in
correct?
the picture, it's almost on top of the.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like the ordinance, if you are 5 feet or within that, it had 42. So if you are 6 feet back, you can go a full 6 foot up. Right?
Based on the ordinance, yeah, so it's just a matter, so, okay, so I think that that's your middle ground, right? Like, if you wanted that foot closer, it's 42, you could set it back another foot and then go up to 48 or 6 feet if you want.
And if you're a foot back, then you gotta figure out how to get out there with a weed whacker to cut that foot.
Yep.
Let's think logically.
Good
folks.
point.
No, you'll have 5 feet. You can get them.
What's the?
Go what?
I would guess that a retaining wall in a residential neighborhood is within some kind of easement anyway, isn't it?
Not necessarily. Or like on the property easement or like, right,
Like somebody's not gonna build a fence on top of the retaining.
Well, that's what this is exactly showing.
It's probably, unless they're drilling into brick, they're,
But yeah, you'd have to be back. You're not gonna put it right, to your point, you're not gonna like dig it out and then have one side of where the pole goes be up against the brick. So you have to set it back some, weed whacker or not. Or you're gonna have to.
It's like
Yeah.
a design situation similar to this.
Okay.
Partially where I borrowed some of the language.
No, that's great.
From our neighbors.
Okay. So this code exists in other places. Okay.
okay.
That's all I needed to hear. So we're not reinventing the wheel out here, is what you're saying. Perfect.
That's good.
Cool.
Thank you.
The planner language still says maximum 42.
If you're within so many,
5 feet.
within 5 feet of the edge.
Did changing that make sense to you guys to make it more constructible?
But you're saying the maximum 42 inches next to the retaining wall is standard.
Well, it was, just trying to be conscious of the neighbors. If you've got a 10-foot tall, your perception of what that is as a neighbor looking at that retaining wall. You know, if you got a 10-foot wall and then you got a 6-foot fence on top of it, it was like it's a 16-foot tall wall.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to explain it, and thank you for telling us that we didn't create this code out of thin air, that we stole it from someone else. That's really, seriously, that's really important, because we try not to do stuff on our own. Any questions for Mo? He's been so talkative tonight. Thank you, Ms. Duhigg, of the Grace variety. Not Emily. Oh, man. Okay, do we have any questions about fences? Are we prepared to vote on this evening?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion approving an ordinance to Chapter 6, Article 3 of the Municipal Code regarding fence regulations.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Where's the complete where they all at?
273.
The regulations.
Page
12 and 13.
12,
12 and 13 are all the changes.
yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Yes.
I just want to.
I did remove the multi.
The 42-inch one is on page 13, number 3. D3.
There.
I think it should be changed to 48.
We have a motion on the floor, first and a second, for approving what's been presented. So if we either withdraw the motion,
Or did he make a friendly amendment to it?
we would have to send it back for a fourth time.
I think a good point was made that if they want to do 48 inches, it can be a 5.5 foot and further setback.
Plus, you know, we're not creating something different here. This is, or else, yes.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Khan, how many houses in total do you think we're dealing with on this?
Very few.
Like less than 10?
Yeah.
We do have a first and a second.
What happens if we withdraw the motion?
We would withdraw it and table it. But again, I mean, I can think of, we have a couple of residents that are really depending on this motion or these ordinances because we've got every fence permit now. We have made them wait because we don't have current regulations. So when we've sent the email to that resident that's been really patient, when did that start? September-ish? Because like your first day here, there you had to deal with that guy. I forget the gentleman's name. And he was pretty upset about the fact that we were putting him on hold because our ordinances were just wrong. So if we want to make people wait some more, we can do that if that's what if this board wants to do. But
And I just want to make sure I understand. So we have an option for the 48 inches, which is in our code currently to be 5.5 feet to 6 feet up, correct?
it says fences were erected within 5 foot of a retaining wall. So if they go 5 foot 6 inches, they can go up to 48
Okay,
inches.
so there is an option for them.
All they have to do is move it back 6 inches.
Not even
I
6.
can leave it
One.
1 inch.
You could move it back 5 foot 1 inch.
Correct.
So there, the option is there. It's just whether or not we want to make them move it back further or not. I think that giving them that option, I don't think an inch is going to kill anybody. If we're going to interpret the code for what it is, 5 foot is 5 foot. You guys comfortable with that?
A motion.
Well, so there's a motion, there's first and a second. I can either call the roll or the original person that made the motion, who I forget who that is. You can make, you can withdraw your motion.
Just take the vote. Let's vote.
I will entertain Ms. Clerk, can you call roll? Jeez.
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor. Aye. Ms. Jernerbro. Aye. Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Coe.
No,
Ms. Palastrellini.
Aye.
Motion passes 5.
Thank you very much. Thank you, staff. Thank you for the residents for their patience with us trying to get this right. Next, we have the building report and the engineering report. Mr. Paulson is waiting with bated breath. Talk to you guys if you have any questions.
Good. I have a question for Mr. Paulson.
Mr. Paulson.
How are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. How are you?
So once a month we get the engineering report.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something on there and I felt like it's been on there a lot. So I went back and I saw that it's been on since August. And I'm just wondering, how long are we working on planning and estimates with Public Works for lead service line removal? Because we're at 4 months now. 3 months. And I'm wondering how long this takes.
So we have done some estimates and alternates for the 2 locations that we're looking at, and we're kind of at this point we're waiting for an opportunity to sit down with Mark Montgomery and Steve Dennison in our office and go through the options and kind of select what staff feels like they want to go forward with. So we have done the concept estimates and looked at the different options for doing just the services, replacing water main, moving water main, upsizing, water main from 4 and 6 inch to 8 inch.
For 2 locations or for all of them?
The 2 locations where the remainder of the lead services lines are, not 2 services.
Location not being a house, location being those run of houses.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Right.
Because I thought in July or June when we discussed it, the idea was that we were going to have staff or EEI come back with, here's what the options are for us to consider and what the potential cost was going to be, so that we could have that discussion. And that's why I was wondering, because we're 4 months later and we've already done 1, and we kind of we talked about precedent. We set the precedent that we covered the cost of that. But it was, okay, what's the right way to do it versus just the replace way to do it? When do you think that the board will get the information and presentation on what that impact will be? Because we're about to go into budget planning for next fiscal. And this seems to be kind of dragging on a little bit. And I'm not saying by any one group. I'm just asking, is there a time frame or expectation of when we will know what the potential impact, budgetary impact to the village is for the various options?
We've prepared the estimates, the options. So, we're prepared to bring that, forward basically whenever I want to review it with staff first, but we can push that meeting when we're ready to schedule it for a meeting, but we're prepared at the next meeting. If you have the time on the agenda or the first meeting in January, we could present it to you.
Okay. Appreciate the feedback.
Is the one house done that it is? Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions on either report?
Yes. Mr. Paulson, do we take over these subdivisions after the binder's done or surface?
After the surface is done and all punch list items are done, then, we bring it forward to the board for acceptance of public improvements.
Thank you.
Yeah, we still haven't accepted Thames Farm, which is unique, because they haven't presented it to us yet. So just so the board is aware, when you hear people complaining about snowplow removal as an example in some of the newer subdivisions, it's important to know that until they turn the streets over to us, we don't plow them. They do.
Who is the they?
The developer is responsible for snow removal. So
the developer is responsible for turning over the.
Yes.
Yeah, so they have, we go out with our engineers and our staff and say, hey, this is not right, this is not right. Much like if you were buying a home or you're buying a car kind of thing. And then we would accept it. And the only way for us to accept it is to accept the public improvements at this board. And then we would then take over and do snow removal and that kind of stuff. So, as an example, if they have a water main break in a new subdivision and we haven't accepted the public improvements, they have to fix it. The developer does.
Can I clarify, just for my own edification?
Sure.
Developer being, let's take Thames Farm out of it. The properties we just voted on for final plat.
Correct.
Crown is the developer. Silverthorne or somebody else may build the houses, but it's Crown who's responsible.
It's unless such time as they've worked out an agreement with the builder that they're responsible for that block or
How
whatever.
would we be informed of who's responsible to maintain it?
It's not our concern.
It's not.
No, we call
Okay.
Crown and we say, hey, your streets aren't plowed, or hey, there's, we're getting complaints
But
because.
that's who we reach out to
Right.
is Crown.
Staff-
Okay, that's what I wonder. We don't care who they have an agreement with.
Correct.
We reach out to the developer. The developer is the one that owned and.
Correct, because the agreement between
Okay.
the agreement exists, between the developer and us.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So then, you said Thames Farm has not been turned over to us.
Correct, so
Who's plowing the grants, right?
whoever their people are.
So the village is not plowing Thames Farm.
Correct.
Okay.
I believe it's Lennar that's
Let's
responsible for the plowing.
Yeah.
Or whoever they've worked out.
Yeah.
Are there minimum standards that must be met per village code or village ordinance that a developer has to maintain the property at before we would, I get that we're not concerned, we're not maintaining it, but is there some type of ordinance or rule that they must maintain it at a certain level?
That's in the development agreement and the annexation agreement, and then they also have to conform to the Illinois Motor Vehicle Code with, if it's an active roadway, they need to maintain like the snow removal and that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of codes and stuff that they have to follow.
Okay.
What those are, I can't get into the weeds because I don't know.
I'm not asking.
But they have rules that they need to follow.
Yeah, there are. It's not like if it snows 2 inches, you have to be out within an hour. Right?
So to that example, it's not like an HOA where if it's 2 inches, they're not gonna plow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if it's less than 2 inches, they're not gonna come out. But if it's 2 inches or more, then they'll come out, like an HOA kind of agreement is with driveways. It's not like
As
that.
tight as these developers are, something's holding them up at Thames Farm. But they gotta do some pond work or what? Something's holding them up. because the developer wants to turn this over to village as quick as they can.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why they want to do snow removal.
Well, I think they're sold out at Tam's Farm.
They've been for
Yeah,
They don't want to pay for.
6 months.
right.
So I only bring that up because, you know, we just went through a snow event and we're gonna go through some more, and there were some comments on Facebook as an example. They haven't been out to plow Prairie Ridge, you know, I haven't seen a village truck all day, but you're not going to because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just important to know.
Call the developer and.
Well, then we would still field the phone call because they're gonna call here and then we'll make the call and then they'll go out and do what they do. But Dave and his crew's got that all handled. I mean, they're really good at that kind of stuff and they know exactly who to call for what. And that's also not to say that if there's an emergency or something like that, that we're not gonna push snow to get emergency services in and out and that kind of stuff.
I got one other question. On the Tinahero property there on Route 20, they poured the entrance and exit and all the islands, and 2 days later, they ripped it all back out.
Yeah, they did it wrong, and they said it was a staking error. IDOT called them out on that the island was wrong, and they said that, you know, they were going to redo it. So.
It's amazing how quick IDOT was there to tell them that they were wrong, but anytime we need them, they're never around.
20-year plan, look into you.
Speaking of IDOT, I have one question. The Safe Routes to School, love seeing that we've got kind of a time frame for pre-construction and construction start and what the cost was. Because it's been so long, what was the grant amount in comparison to what the bid came in at? Do we remember?
I definitely don't.
I don't recall offhand either.
I mean,
Like, is it enough to cover the full cost?
No,
It
no.
was like 275 or 250, something like that.
it was definitely not enough to
And,
cover the
and
whole
was
amount.
the extra added as a part of our budget?
It was.
It was.
So our budget has enough to make up the difference of what the grant and what this bid came in at.
Hypothetically, yes.
Did we know that going?
Hypothetically, yes.
Our estimate going in, our engineer's estimate was a little over 400,000, and that's what was given to Lori. You know, has been in the budget for a few years, and the low bidder is 354,810. So we're below
Under what we thought it would be.
So we knew going in that the village was gonna be paying for some of this project.
Yes.
Right. That was actually a part of the grant. It was a match.
Years ago. Yeah. Can I ask how the pre-construction meeting went last week?
It went well.
Went well?
Yeah, it went well. We went over expectations for everybody.
Okay,
There's really no expectation for the village side other than paying for it.
so we're ready to get going
Yeah.
and
So
it'll be done before the summer.
don't remember exactly when it'll be done, but I think it was springtime that they'll start.
Yeah, March, April.
It's gonna be March, April, so it's.
Yeah, if it does start March, April, can we be proactive in communication to residents on rerouting? Because that's a major thoroughfare for school traffic.
Yep, school.
Yeah, well, that was kind of our initial thought before you two were here, is that we would work with the school district to communicate that.
Yeah.
We might bring that up in our meeting that we have with them next week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Here, not at their school.
Was it?
Another situation. Anyway. Business Development Commission. Thank you, Mr. Paulson.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
BDC will be meeting next Wednesday here. Same bat time, same bat channel. All are welcome. We're gonna be talking about lots of great stuff. Comprehensive plans. At 6:30.
Hmm.
6:30 here. Let me start over. On December 10th at 6:30 PM in the evening, Central Standard Time, we will have the Business Development Commission meeting here at Village Hall.
234 South State, New Hampshire, 11614.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Will there be snacks?
No, there will not. That I'm aware of. They're not on the agenda right now.
Couldn't resist.
Trustee Palestrini's not coming with that. Okay, other announcements.
We have a break on.
Well, that's where I was going, but like,
Go ahead.
but we have a parade on 12/12. I'm gonna be sending an email out to the board to see who, or we can talk about it right now, who is going to be available to assist with traffic flow with lightsabers and vests.
I already got moves on the gator.
I can hold and say.
Give a vest.
So you got,
Next week, next Friday?
yeah,
Is it
Okay.
6?
starts, we're like, well, we would probably meet here probably 5:15, 5 o'clock, something like that, because there's gonna be caroling and hot chocolate and all that kind of stuff here at the Village Hall whilst the parade's being lined up. So we're gonna need what I'm asking for is some volunteers to either support, some of the, hot chocolate action and the parade lineup would be good. And then during the course of the parade last year, I believe we had trustees invest standing in intersections, helping with just kind of not standing in the way of said parade, but making sure that nobody's trying to go around barricades, because that happens. And so it would be really helpful if you guys were available or could help out even for an hour or two. Even if you can't make it at 5, just whenever you can come. So if you can commit now, great, I'll write your name down. If you'd send me an email during the course of the week so we know, that would be great. We've got,
I can know.
oh, thanks.
Yeah, I can help as
I'm
well.
in for the parade.
Mhm.
Let's ship.
Okay. I'm gonna start, John.
I appreciate it. Clerk Stuhler here is like Mrs. Claus with all of that stuff. She's got like cookies and hot chocolate planned and everything else, and probably bring a whole cast of volunteers, right?
We're together.
So,
Anybody helps out?
oh yeah, Corey, and then Chief Pan will be here with that same.
He's the-
He's the Grinch.
He's
Loves the
available.
The library's the grit. He's
Anyway, I appreciate that. If you have an RSVP to the holiday shindig, get with Clerk Stuhler. Really, two really serious things before we go into executive.
I have one too.
Oh,
Your serious ones?
yeah, go ahead.
Tomorrow night at the Hampshire High School is the community basketball game, Pack the Place, as they call it. Please bring a food donation, a canned food donation for the local food pantries. We're hoping to get a full house. All of the elementary school students, well, we hope all the elementary school students will be there. My two will be there. They love it. It's a fun time. Come on out, support the whips. Be there as well.
It's not donkey baseball.
No, it's not. Don't just come.
Donkeys are outlawed in this village.
Don't just come for the boys' game. Come early for the girls' game because they appreciate your support too.
I will never sanction a donkey.
Tomorrow night.
I'll be in Wisconsin, so.
Then I'll bring a can.
Yeah, I'll bring you.
I got you. Got you
get
covered.
in for free with a kid.
You do, but it's just it's a good community event. So come on out tomorrow night to the high school. Pack the place.
The first one is that Trustee Coates celebrated her birthday while we were gone. Like
See,
What was it, Dave?
Social Security and Medicare.
So we started this tradition of singing birthday, so I don't know if he just, like, we do it now that he's.
No, it's too late.
past it.
It's 2 weeks ago, forget
No,
it.
I think, the reason is that we have to do it, and I need you to back me on this, is because in January, we're not gonna be here for Mary Jo's birthday, but
No,
we
we
will
will
the
be.
next time.
No.
So if you say we
No,
can't sing it
he's wrong.
now,
Excuse me,
then,
you're wrong, because the only board meeting is my birthday.
oh, see, perfect.
You.
Never mind, I think it's skip it, we can skip it.
Today.
We can skip it.
You're
But
gonna,
happy birthday.
Happy
thanks.
birthday.
See how you're gonna learn that you shouldn't tell us all these things.
Well, so listen, I tried to move the board meeting a little bit, because I was like, we're doing the things, I'm like,
You just
the board
just
meeting
made
in
a
January.
serious mistake.
And he's like, why? And I'm like, because it's my birthday and I don't really want you guys singing to me. He's like, well, it don't matter. Whenever we're going to have it, we're going to sing to you anyway. So I'm just like, oh, then forget about it.
You're gonna wear a big birthday hat.
I am. Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I
So
mean,
maybe we'll get you a
some
tie.
people get ties.
Yes, I mean,
Things.
So, are we gonna sing or we're not gonna sing?
No,
All right, so we'll sing the next time. We'll sing.
there you go.
You're welcome.
Yes.
All right. So, and one other really important thing, and based on the attitude that I was just given, we need to talk about this. So we hired a new village manager and we have 4 days left of her probation.
Oh.
And so we need to make a decision.
Does today count as one of those days? A Sunday could greatly
What does it say? What's in
I don't know, something's coming on a Ziploc baggies.
It don't, anybody call it out loud,
Yeah.
because I got it from trustee.
Got a badge. I
They do got a badge.
I can't read.
I can't read it from far away.
Shiny.
We'll be on camera.
If you go there, it'll be on camera.
Let's be right with you. He's a troublemaker. What did I
I
do?
got this from there.
Oh, trustee.
Ah.
It really should be.
Can't over with a, yeah.
It's a-
So,
Well, quiet ass.
so,
It's just a bitch.
so,
Hey, Jim,
Yes.
so the
I'll
question,
take care of that.
the question is to this board is, do we have an issue we need to talk about in open session, or do we need to go in executive? Yes, yes.
Am I leaving?
Huh?
Am I
No.
going out of executive? Are you just gonna talk in front of me in executive?
No, it's a joke. We're not talking about you at all. I wanted to say thank you for being here. And I, from all intents and purposes, I thank you for surviving your promotion. Or your probation, because we
It wasn't voted on.
Let him keep talking.
no, it's been a long week.
My halo?
But we've had, a lot of stuff go on, and I know that there's gonna be an update that's gonna be given by you to the board here shortly. But we've had a lot of obstacles in the short period of time that she's been a part of the village, and she's handled it very well. And I just want to say thank you for sticking this out. It was a big change, and it's a change for all of us, including how our meetings run. But, I can't say how happy I am that you're here, and I appreciate everything that you do.
Well, and I want everybody to know that I am really happy to be here. I come in to work every day. I have a great staff, great board to, report to and to serve. So I am extremely happy to be here, working for you guys.
I'm good.
All right, with that being said
Yeah.
go ahead.
She's the FIC.
Female in charge, yes.
Give me a new one.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn to go into executive session, so go into recess.
For the purpose of?
Purpose of
Litigation, I think. or-
We going in the text?
Oh.
What is it real estate or litigation? Or both?
Real estate. No, do both. Do litigation and, either the purchase or setting the price for the disposition of real estate. I can say.
Thank you. 5 minute, motion recess.
Aye.
So moved.
So,
Oh.
okay. Doing roll call vote, please.
So what we're gonna do is what we.
I did.
Thank you.
Keep up.
Public.
Holder.
Aye.
Jenna Bro.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Cody.
Yeah.
House. And Robert.
Aye.
5 minutes.
I wanna keep it fluid.
Done, yeah.